Meet some of the men and women of Black history who sacrificed so much, opened many doors, made a difference, and gave many African American people hope for change for a better tomorrow.
Medgar Evers was a civil rights activist and World War II veteran who fought against segregation and racial injustice in the U.S. South. As the NAACP's first field secretary in Mississippi, he worked to end voter suppression and discrimination. Frederick Douglass, 1818 to 1895, was a former enslaved person who became a leading abolitionist, writer, and orator. A powerful advocate for human rights, he wrote influential autobiographies detailing his experiences with slavery.
Coretta Scott King, 1927 to 2006, was a civil rights leader, activist, and wife of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. She played a crucial role in the American civil rights movement, advocating for racial equality, women's rights, and nonviolent resistance.
James Baldwin was a groundbreaking American writer, essayist, and activist known for his powerful works on race, identity, and social justice. His novels, essays, and speeches, including Go Tell It on the Mountain and The Fire Next Time. John Lewis was a civil rights leader, politician, and activist known for his role in the 1960s civil rights movement. A key organizer of the Selma to Montgomery marches, he endured brutal attacks for advocating nonviolent protest.
Bessie Smith, 1894 to 1937, was a legendary American blues singer, known as the Empress of the Blues. With her powerful voice and emotional depth, she became one of the most influential artists of the 1920s and 1930s.
Garrett Morgan, 1877 to 1963, was an African-American inventor, entrepreneur, and community leader known for pioneering innovations. He invented the three-position traffic signal and the safety hood, a precursor to the gas mask.
Shirley Chisholm was a trailblazing American politician, educator, and author. In 1968, she became the first Black woman elected to the U.S. Congress, representing New York.
Jesse Owens was an American track and field athlete who won 4 gold medals at the 1936 Berlin Olympics, defying Adolf Hitler's Aryan supremacy ideology. Born in 1913, he became a symbol of perseverance and excellence, breaking records and inspiring generations.
Zora Neale Hurston, 1891 to 1960, was an influential African-American writer, anthropologist, and folklorist of the Harlem Renaissance. Best known for Their Eyes Were Watching God, she captured Black Southern culture and dialect in her works.
Thurgood Marshall was the first African-American U.S. Supreme Court Justice, serving from 1967 to 1991. A pioneering civil rights lawyer, he led the fight against segregation, most notably in Brown v. Board of Education, 1954.
Wilma Rudolph was an American sprinter and Olympic champion who overcame polio as a child to become the fastest woman in the world. She won 3 gold medals at the 1960 Rome Olympics, making history as the first American woman to achieve this feat in a single Olympic Games. Sojourner Truth, circa 1797 to 1883, was an African-American abolitionist, women's rights activist, and former slave. Known for her powerful speeches, including Ain't I a Woman, she fought for racial and gender equality.
Nelson Mandela, 1918 to 2013, was a South African anti-apartheid revolutionary, political leader, and philanthropist. He served as South Africa's first Black president, 1994 to 1999, and imprisoned for 27 years.
Madam C.J. Walker, 1867 to 1919, was an African-American entrepreneur, philanthropist, and activist, best known as the first self-made female millionaire in the U.S. She built a haircare empire catering to Black women, empowering them through business opportunities.
Langston Hughes, 1902 to 1967, was an influential African-American poet, novelist, and playwright, central to the Harlem Renaissance. His work celebrated Black culture, resilience, and social justice. Marcus Garvey was a Jamaican political leader, journalist, and activist who championed Black nationalism and Pan-Africanism. He founded the Universal Negro Improvement Association, UNIA, and advocated for economic independence, pride in African heritage.
Harriet Tubman was an American abolitionist and political activist who escaped slavery and later became a conductor on the Underground Railroad, helping hundreds of enslaved people to freedom. She also served as a nurse, spy, and scout during the Civil War, advocating for freedom, equality, and human rights.
Andrew Young is an American civil rights activist, politician, and diplomat. A close associate of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he played a key role in the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, SCLC. Young served as a U.S. Congressman, U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, and Mayor of Atlanta. Benjamin Banneker was a free African-American scientist, mathematician, and inventor in the 18th century. Born in 1731, he gained recognition for his almanacs, astronomical calculations, and correspondence with Thomas Jefferson advocating for racial equality.
Betty Shabazz was an American educator and civil rights activist, best known as the widow of Malcolm X. She was a strong advocate for African American rights, education, and social justice. Shabazz dedicated her life to empowering her community.
George Washington Carver was an influential American agricultural scientist and inventor. Born into slavery in the 1860s, he became renowned for his innovative work with crops, particularly peanuts, promoting sustainable farming practices. Granville Woods, 1856 to 1910, was an African-American inventor and engineer known as the Black Edison. He held over 50 patents, primarily in electrical and railway systems. His most notable invention, the telegraphony, improved railway communication.
Rosa Parks, 1913 to 2005, was a civil rights activist best known for refusing to give up her bus seat to a white passenger in Montgomery, Alabama, in 1955. Her courageous act sparked the Montgomery bus boycott, a pivotal event in the civil rights movement, leading to nationwide efforts against racial segregation. Myrlie Evers is a civil rights activist, author, and journalist, best known for her advocacy following the assassination of her husband, Medgar Evers, in 1963. She played a crucial role in the civil rights movement, later becoming chairwoman of the NAACP. Katherine Johnson was a pioneering African-American mathematician whose calculations were critical to NASA's early space missions. Born in 1918, she excelled in mathematics and overcame racial and gender barriers to help send astronauts to space, including the Apollo 11 moon landing.
Louis Armstrong, 1901 to 1971, was a legendary American jazz musician, trumpeter, and singer. Known for his gravelly voice and virtuosic trumpet playing, he revolutionized jazz with hits like What a Wonderful World and Hello, Dolly.
Josephine Baker, 1906 to 1975, was an American-born French entertainer, singer, and civil rights activist. Known for her mesmerizing dance performances in 1920s Paris, she broke racial barriers in the entertainment industry. Mary McLeod Bethune, 1875 to 1955, was an influential educator, civil rights leader, and government advisor. Born to formerly enslaved parents, she founded Bethune-Cookman University and the National Council of Negro Women.
Jackie Robinson was a trailblazing baseball player who broke Major League Baseball's color barrier in 1947 with the Brooklyn Dodgers. A symbol of courage and resilience, he excelled despite intense racism, paving the way for future black athletes. His impact extended beyond sports, influencing the civil rights movement in America.
Mae Jemison is an engineer, physician, and former NASA astronaut who became the first African-American woman in space aboard Endeavour in 1992. Born in 1956, she excelled in science and medicine before joining NASA. A trailblazer, she continues to inspire as an advocate for STEM education and space exploration.
Muhammad Ali, born Cassius Clay in 1942, was a legendary boxer, activist, and cultural icon. Known for his charisma, speed, and poetic trash talk, he became a three-time heavyweight champion. Beyond the ring, he was a fierce advocate for civil rights, peace, and humanitarian efforts, leaving an enduring global legacy.
Bessie Coleman was the first African-American woman and Native American to hold a pilot's license. Born in 1892, she overcame racial and gender barriers to pursue aviation, studying in France due to limited opportunities in the U.S. She became a pioneering aviator and a symbol of perseverance. Maya Angelou was an acclaimed American poet, memoirist, and civil rights activist. Best known for her autobiographical works like I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, she used her powerful writing to address themes of identity, racism, and resilience. Angelou's legacy continues to inspire and uplift generations worldwide. Augusta Savage, 1892 to 1962, was an influential African-American sculptor, educator, and civil rights activist during the Harlem Renaissance. Known for her powerful sculptures celebrating Black culture and identity, she broke barriers in the art world and mentored future artists. Her most famous work includes the harp and gammon. Ida B. Wells, 1862 to 1931, was a pioneering African-American journalist, activist, and educator. She led anti-lynching campaigns, fought for civil rights, and co-founded the NAACP. Through fearless investigative reporting, she exposed racial injustices, advocated for women's rights, and became a powerful voice for equality in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Fannie Lou Hamer, 1917 to 1977, was a civil rights activist, voting rights advocate, and leader in the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party. Born to sharecroppers, she fought against racial injustice, endured brutal oppression, and became a powerful voice for Black Americans, famously declaring, "I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired." Toni Morrison, 1931 to 2019, was a renowned American novelist, editor, and professor known for her powerful portrayals of Black life and identity. She won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1993, with acclaimed works like Beloved, Song of Solomon, and The Bluest Eye exploring themes of race, history, and resilience.
Jesse Jackson is an American civil rights activist, Baptist minister, and politician. A close associate of Martin Luther King Jr., he played a key role in the civil rights movement. Founder of the Rainbow Push Coalition, he advocated for racial justice, economic equality, and ran for U.S. President in 1984 and 1988. Fred Gray is a prominent civil rights attorney known for representing Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King Jr., and the Montgomery bus boycott participants. Born in 1930, he played a crucial role in desegregation cases, including Browder versus Gale, which ended bus segregation. His legal work profoundly impacted the civil rights movement. Booker T. Washington, 1856 to 1915, was an influential African American educator, author, and leader. Born into slavery, he became the first leader of Tuskegee Institute, advocating for vocational education and economic self-reliance. His philosophy emphasized racial uplift through hard work, education, and patience, shaping Black progress in the post-Reconstruction era.
Claudette Colvin is a civil rights pioneer who, at just 15 years old, refused to give up her bus seat to a white passenger in Montgomery, Alabama, on March 2, 1955, 9 months before Rosa Parks' famous act. Her courageous defiance helped spark the Montgomery bus boycott and the civil rights movement.
Malcolm X was a revolutionary civil rights leader, minister, and speaker who advocated for Black empowerment in self-defense. Born Malcolm Little in 1925, he became a key figure in the Nation of Islam before embracing a broader human rights vision. Martin Luther King Jr. Born on January 15, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia, his famous "I Have a Dream" speech called for an end to racial discrimination and inspired millions worldwide.
I hope that you enjoyed this short presentation of some of our incredible leaders of our history that made a difference in our lives, and thanks for watching.